The Oklahoma City Thunder were expected to produce another surefire Rookie of the Year candidate for the second straight season after selecting 7-foot unicorn Chet Holmgren number 2 overall in this year's draft. But as we know, it was announced that Chet would be out for the entire 2022 to 2023 season. Luckily though for OKC fans like me, it's starting to look like the Thunder are still on track to house another All-NBA rookie team member in the form of 6'6" Jalen Williams or J-Dub, whom the team selected 12th overall in the 2022 NBA draft. Cause by the looks of it, J-Dub has needed very little time to assert himself as a vital piece of the OKC Thunder's rotation using his NBA-ready two-way skill set. As after the first 21 games of his NBA career, he's already averaging 25.5 minutes per contest, which not only ranks as the 4th most minutes averaged among OKC's rotation, but also ranks as the 6th highest among all first-year players so far. And with that playing time he's been receiving, J-Dub's been averaging 10.6 points, 2.5 assists, and more than 3 boards per game, which numbers all rank favorably in comparison to other rookies as well. Plus, what's even more impressive is that J-Dub's also been putting up such numbers with real efficiency, as his 51.7 field goal percentage is actually the highest among all first-year guards, and the 58.9 true shooting percentage he's sporting is also actually 2.5 points above the league average. All of those have actually contributed to Williams being named as the NBA's top Western Conference rookie for the first month and a half of the season, and in this video, we'll dive deeper to see how J-Dub is starting to look like not only the biggest steal of the 2022 NBA draft, but also potentially a future star for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So what's good everyone, it's Real Balls here, but one sec, if you guys do happen to enjoy this video, you can show your support for the channel by hitting that like button. It only takes a second of your time, but it would be much appreciated. So let's get to it. Much like OKC star player Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams' offensive game is highly based on a solid interior scoring attack. J-Dub doesn't have the quickest first step among guards out there, but with a 6'6" frame and a 7'2" wingspan, he's able to use that size and length as an effective driver and finisher around the basket. His natural strength makes him really adept at finishing through contact, while his lengthy arms and soft touch also enables him to score out of tough angles from the interior. And just look at the numbers. So far, more than 44% of J-Dub shot attempts have come at the rim, ranking in the 91st percentile among all wing players in the NBA. Aside from that, 44.5% of those rim attempts have also been self-created, ranking in the 59th percentile among all NBA players in terms of self-creation at the rim. But most importantly, J-Dub is making a highly efficient 75.9% of all those shot attempts at the rim, which ranks him in the 81st percentile of the entire NBA. That mix of volume, creation ability, and efficiency he's been displaying as an interior finisher, especially for a 6'6" rookie guard, is actually very impressive. And sure, watching him, you'd actually notice that J-Dub's still mostly susceptible to point-of-attack pressure defense due to his high handle. However, his incredible pacing and nice body control still enables him to go downhill as he glides from point A to point B without really having to blow past defenders. Just like here, you see J-Dub running a pick and roll play with Shai. He uses the screen to gain some driving momentum, then watch him creating separation from his man with a behind-the-back dribble before using his length and craft to finish the tough scoop at the rim. Then here, coming off a side pick and roll, watch how J-Dub torches Jaylen Brown. He starts off with a hesitation dribble before accelerating to set up the same unguardable high-arcing shot. Then here, as he sees Poku arriving with a ghost screen, you can see J-Dub quickly going downhill before using his solid body control to finish even against contact. Well, the thing is, Coach Mark Daigneault's offensive scheme also incorporates a lot of off-ball movement, which includes a lot of cuts. And luckily, J-Dub has never looked out of place as he's also very comfortable moving without the ball. He easily identifies open spots in the paint as he's generating 1.56 points per possession out of cuts, which ranks in the 84th percentile of the NBA. Then after receiving the ball, he's able to either power right through the rim or launch his stable floater, as he's also producing 1.37 points per possession out of floater shots, which actually ranks in the 94th percentile of the NBA. Just like here, you can see J-Dub standing on the weak side as Josh Giddey looks to create offense from the wing. Watch how J-Dub purposely cuts right into the lane with the zone defense sleeping as he rises up and drains the 10-foot floater even against contact. Then here you can see Shai attacking his defender right into the lane, but as it gets crowded for him in the paint, watch J-Dub identify the open spot on the floor as he cuts right through the defense and goes for the up fake against Jalen Duren before using his strength to finish right under the rim. Overall, those kinds of off-ball instincts just shows that J-Dub's actually a very good on-court fit alongside Shai, who's one of the most double-teamed players in the entire league, as well as with Josh Giddey, who's also one of the most gifted passers in the entire NBA. And while J-Dub's off-ball scoring definitely magnifies his high-level feel for the game, I think another part of his skill set which also displays such feel is his advanced playmaking ability. Well, even when he was in college, J-Dub was always seen as a plus-type passer who's able to make flashy passes even out of tough angles, and even so far in the NBA, has been seamlessly reacting to passing angles much quicker than the majority of the rookies from his draft class, and that comfort has been displaying in terms of making accurate playmaking reads under pressure has in turn enabled Coach Daigneault to increasingly entrust him with more secondary playmaking duties for OKC. Here, you can see J-Dub calling for a screen from Ousmane Dieng, then watch him set up the perfect passing angle as he dishes out the one-handed bounce pass to Dieng for the easy reverse finish. Then here, in another pick-and-roll sequence, you can see Bazley dropping back to the paint, so J-Dub proceeds to attack the Sumu off the hesitation, and as he attracts the double team in the paint, he easily sets up Bazley with a nice pass in the interior. Then here, as OKC swings the ball around the perimeter, watch J-Dub lose his man with a quick behind-the-back spin move, and just when it looks like he's gonna finish at the rim, watch him with a nice drop-off pass to JRE, who's right at the dunker spot. Without a doubt, that kind of passing ability that J-Dub has does look really impressive, especially for a secondary ball handler, let alone for someone who hasn't even played 2 full months in the NBA yet. And overall, even this early in his career, it's obvious that J-Dub already knows how to effectively create offensive situations, both for himself and for others. But the thing is, after he shot an outstanding 39.6% from behind the arc during his final year in Santa Clara, J-Dub hasn't really found his outside shot in the NBA yet, but he also hasn't really relied on it for offense either. He's only shooting 30% from deep, but has also only attempted 53 pointers after 21 games. Well, although his shot release is quite low, I think his shooting stroke still looks fluid and consistent, so I think it would only be a matter of time before he increases his 3-point shooting percentage. Plus, J-Dub's actually shooting almost 57% on 2-point pull-up jumpers, so I think those types of mid-range looks could also be a long-term alternative scoring weapon for him, most especially now that it looks like defenders will be sagging off him even more due to his efficient driving game. But aside from what he brings on offense, J-Dub is also a multifaceted defender for OKC. He's only averaging less than 1 steal and less than a block per contest, but whether it's by occupying passing and driving lanes or by standing his ground as a disruptive one-on-one defender, J-Dub has actually been making good use of his solid instincts and his 7'2" wingspan to start his NBA career, which is something you'll see when you watch him play on the other side of the floor. In this clip, watch how J-Dub forcefully closes out on a moving Bojan Bogdanovic on the corner. You see him disrupting Bogdanovic from making any possible play, and just watch how he uses that long wingspan to challenge the three-pointer in the end. Then again here, watch how J-Dub closes out on a driving Wesley Matthews. He uses that wide 200-pound frame to defend the post-up, and when Matthews kicks it out to Wara who drives to the paint, watch J-Dub with a well-timed jump to deny the shot at the rim. Well, the thing is, during his final season in college, Jalen Williams actually averaged 18 points, more than 4 rebounds, more than 4 assists, and more than a steal per game for Santa Clara on 51, 39, and 80% shooting splits. And yet, most mock drafts still projected him as a second-round pick during the months leading to the 2022 NBA draft. But it looks like Sam Presti and the OKC Thunder front office have once again gone against the flow, as in J-Dub, the franchise has definitely seen the potential of a rangy, indispensable, and NBA-ready connective two-way player who could actually be a long-term part of what the franchise is building. And right now, the NBA is already witnessing the early returns of OKC's choice to use their final lottery selection on Jalen Williams. Well, sure, the Thunder already have a massive collection of fascinating young talent with guys such as SGA, Josh Giddey, Dort, Chet Holmgren, and Aleksej Pokusevski leading the way, but right now, J-Dub is also steadily emerging as one of the most logical fits alongside those players, as he's not only already outperforming his draft slot, but is also looking like a real potential surprise star from the 2022 NBA draft. Thank you guys if you made it this far into the video, and what do you think is a realistic ceiling for Jalen Williams? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below, and again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing as well. Again, this is Rero Balls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.